I want to do a plug for good accounting. A lot of clients that I see that come through here are like, oh, it's simple, I'll do it myself. You could just fix it right. And I'm telling you, if you are trying to run a business and you are not paying attention to your accounting, you are not doing your business justice. Two examples of why this matters. One, I had a client, their accounting was not done correctly. I went back and I found that they didn't even record a purchase of a vehicle that we were able to fully write off. I got them a $23,000 refund just by that one fix. Second story, I had another client come to me and said, I want to buy this business. Can you look at the financials to let me know the health? On its face, it looks like a strong company. It's got, consistent revenue year over year. Cash position looks strong. The more I dig into it, the more I realize the financials do not tie to the tax return. That was the big red flag that says we need to start digging into all of this. Second thing were adjustments that just didn't make sense. It completely contradicted the whole story of the financials. That client was, not only did he say, wow, I don't think I want to buy this company, but wow, I need to start looking at my own accounting more closely. Can we start working on processes together? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Because your financial accounting, as boring as it might be, is the number one tool to tell if you're winning or losing in your business. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I got cash in the bank, I must be doing good, right? Maybe. But what does your accounting say? Are you in a lot of debt? Do you owe a lot of money? Or vice versa, I have a lot of revenue, but I have no cash. Why don't I have any cash? The numbers say I have a lot of revenue. Do people owe you money? Your financials will tell you. It is a huge tool. So I want to just show you 5 things using my financials that are quick things that you can do to go and look and see where you need to spend more time in your financials. Number 1, okay, this is all in QuickBooks Online. I think QuickBooks Online is the platform to be using. It's user-friendly almost to a fault because you can screw things up in here really easily. And you're gonna see my eyes pop down as I go to the actual QuickBooks. But it's the biggest player, I believe, in small business accounting, and so everybody wants to work with it. If you're looking to leverage other cloud-based platforms, they're all going to want to work with QuickBooks. So it's a strong option. So these are my financials. This is my accounting business. I have a couple different businesses because I can't help myself. And I would suggest, number 1, you start all of your accounting here. This is the bank transactions. And my view looks a little different because mine's an accountant version. But what I have done here is I have connected all of my bank accounts. When we look at our accounting, all of the transactions, most of your transactions are going to be backed by the truth of cash flow. Money came in, money went out. What's the story? Tell us how to write this narrative. So I have 3 accounts that I've got set up here. When I go and create the connection, that means as the transactions happen, the data comes pulled into QuickBooks. So I don't have to do data entry here. Huge advantage because 1, it's going to save me time. 2, it's going to keep me honest. If it doesn't match the bank, then it didn't happen, or there's something, the truth needs to be revised. And the other nice thing about this is if you were doing all of your accounting from here, your bank reconciliation is already done, which is going to be another thing in here that I'm going to talk about. 2, let me show you this report. So I went to reports. I am in my standard reports here. I'm going to go to my profit and loss. By default, it's going to go to the last month. Some things I want to call out. If you are cash basis, you got to toggle that so that QuickBooks knows what basis of accounting. This may or may not affect your results. It really depends how you're using the tool. For my purposes, I'm accrual. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull. Ultimately, what I want to see is I want to see the history of my business by month, because let's do the last 6 months, which would, well, let's just do 10-1 because I don't want to do math. So we'll do from October 1st to the end of February. Now I'm going to display columns by months. And now I have a report that's going to show me my P&L by month. And so you start to go, okay, well, October was a bad month, but then we picked up, you're in planning. I can start to answer questions. I'm seeing trends and I'm seeing I don't want to say behaviors, I'm seeing trends in my accounting, and I start to go, well, why? And it's that curious mind that's going to help you understand your business. The other thing that I look at in this report are things, especially down here in the expenses. It's like, okay, I had advertising and then I didn't have advertising. Is that true? Could be, but now I want to answer that for myself. Or, wait a minute, I have contract labor here, but I don't have contract labor here. Did somebody not give me a bill? Do I need to go hunt down a bill? Do I have a bill that hasn't been paid? So I go through that exercise. I'm trying to find big variances. Like here, I got taxes in December. Why do I have taxes in December? I know why I have taxes in December. But for you and your business, you would want to review these things and answer the questions, because operating your business on a day-to-day, you have an expectation of what things happen, but your accounting might not have the same information. And so this is just a really healthy exercise to go through and go, okay, this is what I think I know. Does my accounting reflect that? So that's one report. I'm going to show you just real quick another report I like to do if we go back to doing it year over year, and then we can select prior year or prior period, depending on what you're looking for, percentage of change. And I'm going to go back to just looking at the month view because we're going to get too much data on the screen. I want to do last month because I don't want to see partial months. That's not the full picture. Last month. Okay. So now what I have, there we go. That's the report I want. I can see this is my current year, February. This is my prior year, February. And I can see the percentage of change. This is another one. I'm just going to look at it. And is this story consistent with my understanding? And if not, I need to understand why. Revenue's down. Did I lose a client? Was I spending more time doing bookkeeping last year than I was doing taxes? Because I keep them in two separate businesses. Other things, payroll is up. I think we love that. Payroll is up, but income is down, right? And so I might not put these things together if I'm not paying attention. But if I'm looking at this going, wait a minute, that doesn't seem like good business. Now I can start to go, well, I gotta look at this. Am I getting the most out of the people that I have? Do I need to spend some time looking at it? Okay, so reports are really strong as a tool, of which the other thing is just accounts that don't make sense. People are so focused on, am I making money, that they forget to look at the balance sheet. And the longer I do this, the more I'm like, let's look at the balance sheet, because this is where mistakes are going to secretly hide. So this is my balance sheet. I have, like these prepaid debit cards. Sometimes I get affiliate revenue and they send it in a prepaid card, which I'm like, why? Thank you for giving me this money that I will completely forget about, but I come on here and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. I've got this prepaid debit card, accounts receivable. People owe me money. If you look at my cash balance versus my AR, that's a third. That is, and if you remember from my P&L on how much money I make every month versus my payroll, I got to start calling people and say, hey, remember when I get? Number 4 is your bank rec. Okay, so here I have a reconciliation report, and what this is doing is it's trying to show that you have captured, again, we saw in that bank transaction screen, we've got bank transactions, we've got posted balance. This is what QuickBooks knows, this is what my bank knows, and we want to tell the story between the two. That's what your bank reconciliation is doing. So it'll show you your beginning balance per the bank, it'll show you the transactions that went in and out of that bank account through the month, and it's going to show you your ending balance. And then you're going to have your QuickBooks balance, and it's going to be the same thing. And the difference between those is usually these uncleared transactions and things that happened after it closed. And the thing I want to be able to show you is the uncleared transactions. Because if you have things in here that are old, they probably need to be cleaned up. I'm going to say for the 5th thing, just going back to reports. Budgeting. There's a lot of good reports in here. The budget versus actual, I would highly recommend Again, just to keep the expectations and the accountability paired together throughout the year, create a budget, import your budget, and then make that one of your monthly checks. I'm looking at the profit and loss, I'm looking at the balance sheet, I'm looking at AR, I'm looking at the bank reconciliation, I'm looking at budget versus actual, because that's going to keep you accountable. Anyhow, as an accountant, as a tax practitioner, because that's the other thing, is if your accounting is wrong, there's a good chance your tax return is wrong, and there are real financial implications there. So say thank you to your bookkeeper. Do not cheap out on bookkeeping. The more users of your financial information, like if you have banks, if you have investors, if you've got, multiple parties that are looking at your financial data, it is so important that it's telling the story that you think it's telling. And then again, the real one that we care about is don't pay taxes on income you didn't actually get, or that you didn't actually earn. And claim those expenses. Claim that car that you bought was an $80,000 car and it wasn't on the books, and so the tax person didn't know any better. And so yeah. Anyhow, you could tell I could just blah 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 all day about how to use QuickBooks, where to look at in your financial reporting. I'm a huge fan of internal processes, workflows, automations. There's a ton of that in QuickBooks. And again, because of the cloud-based platform, lots of tools talk to QuickBooks. And, I get all jazzed about integrating your platforms so that it takes a layer of data entry out. Also, it helps ensure quality control, because I'm all about building a accurate, scalable, efficient business. So hope this was helpful. I'm really trying to diversify my content away from not just being tax, but also being about accounting, tech, workflows, automations, things like that. But then just also founder mindset. Hope this helped.